Forward in their investigation into 18-year-old Lauren Burke's death and plan a major announcement Saturday morning. The Auburn University student was fatally shot Tuesday. Her car later found on fire in a campus parking lot. Friday, police said they are examining a gas can to see if it was used in the destruction of Burke's car.
On that fateful evening, chaos ensued as drivers halted their vehicles, creating a blockade on both sides of the road. In the midst of this turmoil lay Lauren Burke, struggling for breath, her body riddled with wounds and only socks on her feet. At 9:12 p.m., the first police car arrived at the scene to find Lauren unconscious. Shortly afterward, paramedics reached her, finding her pulse faint as they rushed her to East Alabama Medical Center at 9:35 p.m. Doctors immediately commenced life-saving efforts. Simultaneously, at 9:27 p.m., 911 dispatchers were flooded with calls about a car fire at Auburn University. The emergency services, responding swiftly, were greeted by a crowd of students drawn from their dorms by the spectacle. The burning vehicle, a Honda, was registered to James Burke of Georgia, who was soon identified as Lauren's father. Upon contacting James, the police learned that the car's primary user was Lauren, a student at Auburn University. James's concern escalated when Lauren failed to answer her phone, deepening his anxiety. Frantic, he reached out to her friends and then to his ex-wife, Vivian Gershon, Lauren's mother. However, none had any information about Lauren's whereabouts or the car fire. At 9:40 p.m., Vivian called Lauren's boyfriend, Sean, breaking the news of her disappearance and the car's destruction. Sean, in turn, began contacting their mutual friends. He learned that Lauren had unexpectedly cancelled a library meeting, claiming she had forgotten it. Sean, however, was certain she hadn't forgotten, as she had mentioned her plans to go to the library just hours before. While loved ones desperately searched for answers, the medical team at East Alabama Medical Center fought valiantly to save Lauren's life. Unconscious and without identification, her identity remained unknown to the doctors. Tragically, their efforts were in vain. Lauren succumbed to her injuries about an hour after admission. The fatal wound was a bullet that had pierced both of her lungs, fired from mere inches away. As the police pieced together the tragic events at the hospital and the torched car on campus, they realized the heartbreaking truth. The young woman who doctors could not save and the missing owner of the burned vehicle were one and the same, Lauren Burke. Born on December 30th, 1989, in Marietta, Georgia, Lauren was the daughter of James Burke and Vivian Gershon, who later divorced. She had two siblings, Jacqueline and Chad Burke. Lauren's academic and social life flourished at Auburn University, where she pursued a degree in graphic design. An active member of the Delta Gamma sorority, she also participated in lacrosse and was deeply involved in campus life. Known among her peers for her sunny disposition, Lauren was an excellent student, universally liked, and always ready to lend a helping hand. While still in high school, Lauren began dating Sean McQuaid. Their relationship continued into their college years at Auburn University. Balancing education with their relationship, the couple had big dreams and plans for their future together. On the morning of March 4th, 2008, Lauren's day started ordinarily, with breakfast at a cafe with Sean. She attended her class at 11 a.m. and later called her father to discuss spring break plans and a dentist appointment. She spent the remainder of her day at Sean's dorm until the evening. At 8:30 p.m., Lauren had arranged to meet with her classmate Michael at the library for a study session. When she left Sean's room around 8 p.m., night had fallen. She walked towards her parked car, a black 2001 Honda Civic. This was the last time Sean saw Lauren. Michael, expecting to meet Lauren at the library, grew concerned when she failed to show up. Despite multiple attempts to reach her, Lauren did not answer her phone. Eventually, she responded, abruptly stating she had forgotten their meeting and quickly hung up. Around 9 p.m., a distressing call was received about an injured girl lying on the road between Farmville Baptist Church and Route 280 on the 147 freeway. Heartbreakingly, it was Lauren. The following day, March 5th, 2008, James Burk faced the harrowing task of identifying his daughter's body. The news of Lauren's demise spread rapidly across the Auburn University campus. The university issued a statement to assure students and staff of their safety, while also urging extra caution both on and off campus. Amidst the shock and sorrow, the Delta Gamma Society called the crime unexpected and disturbing, urging its Auburn sisters to fully support the ongoing investigation. As Lauren's loved ones mourned, the Auburn police were diligently piecing together the circumstances surrounding her untimely death, the mysterious car fire, and assessing any potential threat to other students. The crime scenes, both where Lauren Burke's body was discovered and the area around her burned car, were meticulously examined for evidence. Captain Tom Stauffer, spokesperson for the Auburn Police, emphasized the community's commitment to solving the case. Auburn, Alabama, known for its tranquil student environment, takes such incidents very seriously. We feel the impact of every harm or loss deeply and are dedicated to relentlessly pursuing the culprit, he stated. Furthering this commitment, Alabama Governor Bob Riley announced a $10,000 reward for information leading to an arrest in Burke's case. Lauren's scorched vehicle was transported to the Auburn Police Department. A collaborative effort between state forensic experts and fire chief officials led to a thorough investigation of the vehicle's remains. Among the debris, they discovered remnants of burned clothing, Lauren's melted digital camera, and the car's owner's manual. The finding of a .38 caliber bullet beneath the front seat suggested the car might have been the crime scene and the fire a tactic to obliterate evidence. Interviews with Lauren's family, friends, and boyfriend yielded no suspects. None could conceive of anyone who would wish to harm her. The investigators extended their search to Sean's dorm, where Lauren had been prior to her death, but found no evidence linking Sean to the crime. A breakthrough came when detectives learned from Michael, whom Lauren was supposed to meet at the library, that he heard sounds resembling a moving car during their last phone call. Additionally, it was discovered that Lauren's bank card had been used multiple times shortly after her body was found. This critical lead suggested that the individual in possession of her bank card could be involved in the incident, prompting the police to initiate a search for this person. In a dramatic twist, just 3 days after Lauren's tragic demise, an alarming incident occurred at 9:55 a.m. on March 7, 2008, in a Walmart parking lot in Newnan, Georgia, about 75 miles from Auburn. A man of African descent violently assaulted a 72-year-old woman. As she was entering her car, he struck her on the head, threatened her, and forced her into the passenger seat, taking the driver's seat himself. The assailant attempted to flee the scene, but realized that a witness to the attack was following him and seemingly reporting the incident over the phone. Fearing police involvement, he hastily returned to the Walmart parking lot, abandoned the car, and quickly commandeered a silver Chrysler Sebring to make his escape. Hours later, a high-speed pursuit unfolded as 4 police officers chased the Chrysler towards Columbus West, Georgia. The driver, showing blatant disregard for the safety of others, refused to stop. In a tense moment during the chase, officers saw the driver toss an object from the vehicle, a .38 caliber revolver, later recovered by the police from the roadside. The pursuit reached a critical juncture when the perpetrator's car malfunctioned, emitting smoke from under its hood. He abruptly stopped in the middle of the road and flung open the door, inadvertently causing a collision with a pursuing police motorcyclist. The officer was thrown from his bike, but fortunately escaped serious injury. The scene, set amidst a forested area, provided the assailant a chance to flee into the woods. However, his freedom was short-lived as the police were quick to apprehend him. In a swift response, they caught and handcuffed him, ending a perilous sequence of events that began with a brutal assault and evolved into a high-speed chase and dramatic arrest. Courtney Lockhart, born on October 20, 1984, experienced a life-altering transformation according to his family's accounts. Initially described as a fun-loving and pleasant individual, Lockhart's demeanor drastically changed following his military service. Deployed to Iraq in 2004, he returned in 2005 as a profoundly altered person. His mother poignantly remarked, "He wasn't the Courtney I knew." The once cheerful young man lost his smile, developed a constant vigilance to his surroundings, and exhibited distressing behaviors like hiding in closets or under beds. The year 2006 was tumultuous for Lockhart. He became a father with a former girlfriend, but their relationship had already ended. That same year, he faced a court-martial for assaulting fellow soldiers, substance abuse, and desertion. He spent 7 months in detention, culminating in a dishonorable discharge from the army in December 2006. As 2008 neared, Lockhart's life spiraled further out of control. He neglected personal hygiene, ceased visiting his daughter, and succumbed to severe substance addiction. Beginning in February 2008, Lockhart embarked on a spree of criminal activities. primarily targeting women in parking lots. His modus operandi involved approaching victims from behind as they entered their cars, threatening them with a gun, demanding their purses, and attempting to steal their vehicles. Tragically, one of these attacks resulted in the death of Lauren Burk. Lockhart's crime spree came to an abrupt end on March 7, 2008, when his assault on a 72-year-old woman led to a failed escape from police pursuit. Upon his arrest at age 23, Lockhart was taken into custody, where he made a full confession to the kidnapping and murder of Lauren Burk. His confession, recorded during the interrogation, became a pivotal piece of evidence in his trial. Additionally, items belonging to Lauren, such as her iPod and bank cards, were discovered in his possession. Lockhart provided a detailed account of the events on the day he abducted Lauren, further cementing the case against him. On Tuesday, March 4, 2008, Courtney Laurel Lockhart's day began in his silver Chrysler Sebring, parked not far from East Alabama Medical Center, where he had spent the previous night. Desperate for money, Lockhart drove around Auburn, seeking another potential victim. Notably, all his prior attacks had been against women. His search led him to Auburn University's campus, where he parked near student dormitories. Spending hours observing from his car, he finally noticed Lauren Burk as she approached her vehicle around 8 p.m. Acting impulsively, Lockhart, armed with a revolver, confronted Lauren from behind, demanding money. Receiving no response, he forcibly pushed her into the passenger seat and took the wheel himself. According to Lockhart, Lauren, initially terrified, eventually handed over $200 and pleaded for her release. However, Lockhart's intentions escalated as he coerced Lauren to undress at gunpoint, rationalizing that without clothes, she wouldn't attempt to escape. Throughout this ordeal, he drove aimlessly around Auburn, simultaneously steering and holding Lauren at gunpoint. Despite her attempts to reason with him, even offering to help him find a job, Lockhart remained resolute. During the drive, Lauren received a call from Michael, whom she was meant to meet at the library. She quickly dismissed the call, attempting to allay any suspicions. Lockhart admitted that Lauren persistently tried to negotiate her release. The situation reached a critical point on HWY 147 when Lauren, seeing an opportunity, opened the car door to escape. Lockhart claimed that in this moment he accidentally fired a shot which tragically hit Lauren, piercing both lungs and causing additional injuries as she fell. She managed to signal for help before losing consciousness. Lockhart recounted parking near a church, observing as people stopped to assist Lauren. Realizing the imminent arrival of the police, he fled to erase any evidence in the car. He purchased gasoline with Lauren's bank card and doused the car's interior before heading back to the university campus, where his Chrysler was parked. Despite the risk of igniting the gasoline fumes, Lockhart drove with the windows down to campus, indicating a possible lack of judgment or mental instability. After arriving, he removed money, an iPod, and bank cards from Lauren's car, set it ablaze, and departed. He even returned to confirm the car's complete destruction. Investigators, however, questioned the veracity of Lockhart's narrative. They speculated his motive for forcing Lauren to undress might have been more sinister than merely preventing her escape. Additionally, they doubted the accidental nature of the gunshot, given Lockhart's military background and firearm proficiency. It seemed plausible that Lauren, realizing her peril, chose to jump from the moving car, prompting Lockhart to shoot. Ballistic tests confirmed that the bullet in Lauren's car matched the gun Lockhart discarded during the police chase, and experts ruled out accidental discharge, indicating deliberate action. As Lauren's family and friends mourned her loss, Lockhart faced a second interrogation and subsequent formal charges in connection to Lauren Burke's case.
Lauren Burke has been found guilty of capital murder, for which the penalty is either life in prison or death. News Leader 9's Catherine Kington is standing by live in Opelika with more. And Catherine, any idea how close they are on deciding his sentence?
The trial of Courtney Lockhart commenced on November 8, 2010, under intense scrutiny. Lockhart's defense argued that his military service had precipitated mental illness, leading to the accidental shooting of Lauren Burke. He pleaded not guilty, citing mental defect or insanity. A psychologist's testimony highlighted Lockhart's below-average IQ of 86 and acknowledged some combat-related symptoms, though not PTSD. The psychologist also noted Lockhart's immaturity and impaired judgment. The state's attempt to introduce evidence of Lockhart's prior criminal activities and dishonorable military conduct was barred by the trial judge. During the sentencing phase, Lockhart's defense portrayed him as a war veteran traumatized by combat and the death of his commanding officer. However, the jury, considering an additional aggravating factor of murder during kidnapping, unanimously recommended a life sentence without parole. Contrasting the jury's recommendation, the trial judge imposed the death penalty. In a detailed 28-page order, he justified this decision, citing the random and heinous nature of the kidnapping from a college campus and Lockhart's deliberate actions to prevent Lauren's escape. The judge also stressed that the jury was not fully informed of Lockhart's criminal history or the extent of his military disciplinary record. 15 years after Lauren's death, Lockhart remains on death row, persistently appealing his sentence. His appeals have been consistently denied by various courts, including the Supreme Court of the United States. In 2018, his defense attempted to argue that his 2010 representation was flawed, but this did not alter the outcome, with the death sentence being reaffirmed by the Alabama Court of Criminal Appeals in April 2021. Lauren Burke's parents have remained steadfast in their resolve to uphold Lockhart's sentence. Her father, Jim, expressed that since Lockhart deprived Lauren of a second chance, he should not receive one either. Her mother, Vivian, echoed this sentiment. As it stands, Courtney Lockhart continues to await his sentence on Alabama's death row, a constant reminder of the tragic loss and enduring impact on Lauren's family and community.